Hey everyone, let's kick off this explainer with a thought from plant expert Anastasia Remeslo that I just absolutely love. She says, some of the most beautiful plants in my home didn't come from a nursery. They were born right on my kitchen windowsill in a collection of old jam jars. I mean, that perfectly captures a realization that completely changes how we look at our houseplants. Plant propagation isn't some complex, sterile science experiment that's only reserved for professionals. It's actually this incredibly accessible, natural kind of magic that you can harness right in your own home. So let me ask you something. What if you could literally turn one single plant into 10 and do it entirely for free? By learning just a handful of straightforward propagation secrets, you're unlocking the ultimate plant hack. You save money, you can rescue those struggling favorites before they totally die off, and honestly, the best part, you create an endless supply of really thoughtful, living gifts for your friends and family. Today, we're diving into Anastasia Remeslo's ultimate guide to houseplant propagation. We're going to demystify the whole process and break down everything you need to know to confidently multiply your collection. Get ready to become a full-on plant creator. Here is our game plan for today. We'll start with the toolkit and the golden rule, then we'll cover water and soil cuttings, plant division, succulents, and finally wrap up with some advanced magic, air layering. All right, let's jump into section 1, the toolkit and the golden rule. Essentially, the wizard's tools for propagation. Good news first, you definitely do not need a fancy lab for this. Most of these essentials are probably sitting around your house right now. You just need a sharp tool, like some scissors or a craft knife, but the absolute key here, it has to be clean. Always sterilize your tools with rubbing alcohol so you don't accidentally spread diseases to your plants. Next, grab some vessels. Old glass jam jars work perfectly for water, or small pots with drainage for soil. Your growing medium is literally just fresh water or a nice airy potting mix. Oh, and you might want to pick up some rooting hormone powder or gel. It's completely optional, but it definitely gives your cuttings a fantastic head start. But if there is one absolute make or break secret to all of this, it's the node. So what's a node? It's just a little bump or ring on a plant's stem. That spot is the exact location where leaves, branches, and most importantly for us, roots, are going to grow from. If you miss this, nothing works. Seriously. If you take a cutting of a stem but you don't include a node, that stem will sit in your jar of water forever. It'll stay green, sure, but it will never, ever grow roots. You always have to look for that little bump. Moving right along to section 2, water and soil cuttings. These are your classic stem cuttings. Now, you might be thinking, why choose one medium over the other? Well, water propagation is an absolute dream for thirsty, vining plants. Think Pothos or Monstera. Plus, let's be real, it's incredibly mesmerizing to just watch those little roots grow through the glass day by day. On the flip side, soil cuttings are your go-to for plants that tend to rot easily if they're left sitting in water, like a snake plant or a ZZ plant. Starting them in soil creates super robust, strong roots immediately, since they're adapting to the dirt from day one. The classic water method is wonderfully simple, especially if you're a beginner. You just grab those sterilized scissors, snip a healthy stem, making sure you catch a node, right? And strip away any lower leaves so they don't get gross and rot underwater. Then, just submerge that node in a jar of fresh water, pop it in some bright and direct light, and let nature do its thing. Just remember to swap out that water every few days to keep everything fresh. But hey, if you're dealing with a plant that hates having wet feet, like a begonia or a rubber plant, you're gonna wanna skip the water phase entirely. By avoiding the water jar, you help these specific plants develop much stronger roots right out of the gate. Take your cutting, give it a quick little dip in that optional rooting hormone powder, and plant it about an inch deep into well-draining soil. The trick here is keeping the soil lightly moist, never totally soggy, while it hangs out by a warm, sunny window. Okay, section 3, plant division, or splitting one big plant into many. This technique is honestly less like propagation and more like just gently teasing apart a massive plant into a bunch of smaller ones. It works perfectly for clumping varieties, the plants that grow up from the base rather than trailing on a long vine. So if you have a massive calathea, a super dense fern, a huge peace lily, or a spider plant pushing out those little pups, this is absolutely the method for you. To do it, you literally just slide the whole plant out of its pot and get your hands dirty. Gently massage the root ball to loosen up the dirt, and you'll naturally start to see distinct little clumps forming. From there, you just pull those sections apart. The main thing is making sure each new pup takes a good, healthy tangle of roots with it. If they're being really stubborn, you can use a clean knife to help them along, but honestly, your hands usually do the trick. Once they're separated, just pop each new division right into its own fresh pot of soil. Next up, Section 4, succulents. These guys are the absolute masters of regeneration. It is actually wild that you can grow an entirely new succulent from just one fallen leaf. You basically just gently twist a healthy leaf right off the main stem of something like an echeveria. But listen, here is the crucial step where most people mess up. You have to let that leaf dry out and callus over in the shade for a few days. If you don't, it'll just turn to mush. Once it's calloused, lay it flat on some completely dry succulent soil. The secret here? Pure patience. And absolutely no watering. Seriously, leave it alone in bright and direct light. After a few weeks, that dry little leaf will magically spawn tiny pink roots and a brand new baby plant right in front of you. Finally, Section 5. We're getting into some advanced magic, air layering. It's basically sci-fi rooting right on the stem. You're going to want to pull this trick out for those woody, thick-stemmed plants, like a fiddly fig that have maybe gotten a little too tall and leggy. Instead of just chopping the top off and crossing your fingers, you actually grow roots while it is still attached to the mother plant. You make a small, upward slanting cut about a third of the way into the stem, and then you wrap that open wound in moist sphagnum moss. The moss is perfect because it holds humidity without drowning the plant. Wrap that whole thing tightly in plastic wrap to trap the moisture. Now this takes patience, we're talking months, but eventually roots will totally fill that moss ball. When they do, you safely cut the stem right below the new roots, and boom, you have a brand new, fully rooted tree. So we've covered the whole spectrum: water, soil, division, succulent regeneration, and even air layering. Take a quick look around your living room right now, or peek at your kitchen windowsill. Which plant are you going to multiply first? Honestly, learning this stuff really makes you wonder. If a single little leaf or a tiny bump on a stem contains the entire blueprint to completely regenerate itself, what other incredible survival mechanisms is nature just hiding right in plain sight? Grab your clean scissors, find a node, and let's go make some magic.